Hi, friends. This is Edie Summers. I'm here taking a walk. You might be finding me on YouTube, and I'm in a park right now, and I wanted to share with you a little bit about why I love to walk. I might try and flip my camera, otherwise, you're gonna have to see behind me. I'm actually seeing a flower as we come up right here. I'm not sure I know how to flip this camera, so you have to maybe enjoy the view behind me, but I'm gonna start walking. There are wildflowers everywhere right now. It's so pretty. Um, I'm in a nature park, and this used to be a farm. You can see it behind me too, so you might see kind of whatever is streaming behind me. At some point, I'm gonna put my sunglasses on here, but yeah, come take a walk with me. This is one of my favorite places to walk. Again, it used to be a farm. It's about 60 acres, I think. Stunning trees everywhere. All the wildflowers are out right now. So it's just a really pretty time to be out here. You might be able to hear birds. Um, can you see how beautiful? Look how beautiful all those trees are. I would flip this if I can, but I can't. So just enjoy the scenery behind me. And yeah, I love to walk. I love to do kind of mellow walking. I also teach yoga, and you're going to find a lot of my yoga videos on here on YouTube. So go ahead and check out my channel. It's at My Daily Well. But I also love to walk, and sometimes I love to do what they call forest bathing. So I might go at a slower pace and just, it's almost like a meditation, right? Like you just listen to the birds. Can you hear the birds? Um, kind of enjoy the fresh air, enjoy the sunshine. I hope you can hear those birds. There's so many birds out right now and wildflowers. So I'll try to look at that's the path behind me. Isn't that pretty? Look how pretty that is. Yeah, so I've always loved to walk. I've been walking ever since I was really young. My sister and I used to take walks in our own neighborhood back in Utah. And this was back in the like 80s, so it felt pretty safe to do that. And we used to walk all over our neighborhoods. And now I live in Oregon, and I feel really, really lucky that I live near this nature park. So I come here as often as I can. It's open year round, but I like to come when it's warmer. It's huge. There's so many paths in here. Uh, I can get lost in here for hours. I don't always have the time to do that, but I really love walking because I think it's an easy way to get exercise. You can go at your own pace. Some people come in here and run, which is pretty cool. I'm not really much of a runner, but once in a blue moon, I'll maybe run a couple paces. But I really just love to come in here and listen to the birds, look at all the greenery. There are trees everywhere. I would flip this for you if I could, but I don't know how to do that at the moment, so I'll have to try later. But hopefully you can hear the birds, and hopefully you can see some of the trees behind me. And look, that's the path behind me. Isn't that cool? And of course it goes both directions here, and there are tons of paths in here. So there's like a main path that you can walk on, several main paths, but then you can also go off the beaten path here and get on to I'm on more of a concrete path right now. Can you see that? More of a concrete path, but they also have like paths that are just like soil. And you can go deeper into the woods in here. And again, trees everywhere, like really tall trees. Look how cool those trees are. They go up, and it's just absolutely stunning. This is like a temperate rainforest in here. So, and I'm in Oregon. So I love to walk because it calms me down. Of course, it's good exercise. And if you walk outside, which I love to do, I like to walk usually when it's warmer, but you get the fresh air, which is so good for you. You even get to kind of inhale the soil, right? Like soil has microorganisms in it. It has properties in the soil that are good for your immune system. It's super calming. I love all the greenery. I wish I could flip this around for you here. Let's go this way. Look at what I'm heading into. Look at how pretty that is. So that's where I'm headed into. You can really see it either direction. Yeah, so and look, there's a bench coming up. People can you see that bench? Somewhere around here. People will come in here and hang out on the bench. There are benches all over the place here. So we're coming into one of my favorite parts of the park right now. Here, I'm going to flip it around for you so you can see. Look how stunning. Let's see if I can get it. It's so, so pretty. This doesn't even do it justice. The further you go into this park, the more beautiful it gets. And I think there are even there's some old growth forests in here and like cedar trees. They have different types of trees in here. And maybe I'll take you down to some of the really old growth. I'm going to do that. I'm going to take you down to the old growth trees. So I'll try to go several places in this park so you can see. You can really, some people come in here like every day. They'll come in here year round. So I don't usually come in here if it's like really, really cold because there's so many trees in here. There are literally trees everywhere. So I don't come in usually when it's like winter or if it's like the rainy season here in Portland. Here, I'm going to go this way. Okay, so now I'm going off the beaten path. So you can start to see, here, look, let me turn it around. This is where I'm headed now. Isn't that cool? So now I'm on a path that's more like soil versus cement. And I'm starting to head deeper into the forest here. Can you see it? That's behind me. I'm going to take you down to where the old growth trees are. They're super cool. So yeah, I just love to come in and it's almost like a walking meditation for me. I love to come in here and just hang out and like think and process. It's nice. I bring guests in here. Isn't that pretty? You can see there are a lot of ferns. Look at all the ferns. I almost feel like if you kept walking in here, you might run into like a dinosaur. I'm kidding. But there are deer in here. There's a lot of wildlife in here, so you can run into rabbits. I think there are coyote in here. You can't walk dogs in here, maybe because there's so much wildlife. But the first time I ever came in here, I ran into a whole family of deer. So 2 adult deers and 2 younger deers. I've run into a baby deer with her mom. Look at those trees. I wish I could show you, I wish I could do this justice so you could really see what I'm seeing. But it really does look kind of like doesn't it look almost like an ancient forest in here? Again, this is like a temperate rainforest. This is what's so beautiful about the Pacific Northwest. And so I just love to get out and de-stress, go at my own pace. Just nature is so healing. It's so healing. And I feel like in this modern world, we forget to get outside. We forget how beautiful it is and how healing it can be just to be around something that's bigger than you, greater than you. Look how stunning. It's really probably not doing it justice. Look, that's the path that I just came from. So here's some wildflowers. Can you see the wildflowers? They have so many different pretty types. There are white flowers. There are like, I think maybe wild orchids in here. We have wild roses in here. They look different. They're pink and they don't look like regular roses. They look almost like pink daisies. There's so many different wildflowers right now. It's such a stunning time to be out. So, okay, so I'm coming to a fork in the road. Okay. I'm going this way, so I'm gonna go down. There's actually like a pond coming up. Oh, they are later, if I can remember to, I'll take you to a lotus pond. They have a lotus pond in here. It's so cool. That's in the other way. So let's go to the old growth part first so you can see it. The first time I ever went there, I was stunned. It's so pretty. Can you see behind me? So again, I just love to, here you can see where I'm going downhill now. There's a pond over here coming up. It's not the lotus pond, but there's a pond and you can see like, or a lake, maybe it's a lake. There's a lake coming up and you'll see birds in it. Like you'll see like, is it heron? You'll see like bigger birds. I've seen rabbits. There's so many cool things that you can find in here and it's so peaceful. It's just so peaceful. Here's another bench. You can sit and it looks like it's almost like a little place to kind of hang out. So let me show you. It's right behind me. See, people will come here and hang out on the bench. There's so many places to hang out. So I actually met one of my former cats in this park. He was lost. I think he was really young and he got lost somehow. And all these people in the park came to help me capture him and take him home because he didn't have a home. He was stuck in the park. He was really young. So we're coming now to a bridge. Here's a bridge that I'm going to pass over. That's going to take me to the other side. And actually here, let's go this way first. I'm going to take you to this clearing where you can see, at least there used to be water down here. Let's see if it's still here. Yeah. Okay. So you can see ducks in here sometimes. I don't think there are any ducks right now, but I'm going to turn around. So you might be able to see that there's like water out there. It's like a pond. Can you hear those birds? And then we're going to be heading over a bridge and then I'll take you to the old growth part of the forest. I think there are several old growth parts. This forest it's huge. And that's what's so great about it is that there are so many paths that you can take in here that when I first came in here, I've been coming here for about 15 years. When I first came in here, there weren't as many people in here. So it was really nice to be able to just kind of get lost, you know, and walk, and you could literally be walking by yourself with no one around. Now there are more people in here now, but it's still big enough that you don't necessarily have to, you can still get a lot of solitude. But it's nice to have people in here too. Okay, so again, I'm right by a pond and let's go back up. I'm going to take you back up this path. Let's go across the bridge and I'll take you to this old growth. I think there's cedar trees. Don't quote me on that. I might have the wrong type of tree. Maybe someone can tell me what they are. And this part is a little bit, I mean, there are so many stunning parts to this park. You can see where I just came from. We just walked down the hill a little bit. There might be some old growth up there too. And now we're walking across a bridge. They just rebuilt this bridge, so you might be able to see it. You can see it. It's pretty nice. Yeah, they made it wider and a lot safer. And I think there's water passing through here. Here you can get a better look at the pond. You can really see it from here behind me. Can you see that water? The sun might be too bright. You might be able to see water behind me. And it's really nice. I like that the park is mostly shaded because there's so many trees, but there are certain parts where you can really get good sun too, which is really nice. Here are a bunch of wild roses coming up. I'm going to show you. They're actually up really high. They're behind me. I'm going to see if you can see them. It's really sunny, so you may not be able to see them, but do you see those roses? Wild roses. They're pink. I don't know if you can see those. Hopefully you can see them. They're so pretty. A lot of the trees have moss on them. Here's a tree. Look at that moss. And when it's the rainy season, you get a lot more moss and it's so pretty. Okay, so I'm going to take you down this way. There's some more, now there's some yellow flowers coming up. Can you see yellow flowers? Look at that. You may or may not be able to see those. There are flowers everywhere right now. Wildflowers, birds, everything is super green. And we're heading into the sunny season versus the rainy season here. So it can rain a lot here, but not as much as you might think. It's more overcast than raining a lot. But then it makes it so nice this time of year. So literally for 6 months, it's like stunning up here and it's pretty good temperature, although it's getting hotter up here in Oregon. It's hotter than it used to be, but the sunny season is here. It's green, it's sunny, it's beautiful. Do you hear those birds? Here's a wild rose. Let me see if I can get it up close. You see that? Pretty. I don't know if you can see that. More wild roses. Okay, now we're gonna head across one more smaller bridge and more water. And then we're gonna be getting close to the old growth. It's really, okay, there's more sun here. It just goes on and on. And I know what it's like. It's never the same thing as being somewhere in person. But that's what I love about walking though and hiking is that there's so many places you can go. You know, like I don't know where you've walked or hiked in the world or traveled in the world, but I love to get outside wherever I am when I'm visiting a place. Because again, it's just, you know, going by foot and like slowing down and what that feels like. It's just so much nicer to kind of experience something, even if you're just walking in your neighborhood. Now we're heading into a kind of an older part, I think, of the forest. I think it's all pretty old though. Going uphill again. We'll be at the old growth pretty soon here, but even this part is really stunning. There aren't as many people back here, which can be nice. We'll be there soon, but this part is really pretty. Can you see behind me? Look how pretty. The air smells so amazing. Everything smells really fresh. And it's so peaceful. And can you really see like how green it is? Look how green it is. And then I like this park because there are gentle up and down hills. Like it's not super flat, but it's not super steep either. So it's a good workout. It's kind of like a good moderate way to get your exercise too. Oh, thank you, Carter. Hello. I appreciate it. Yeah, hi guys. I just realized I saw the chat here. Took me a second. Yeah, maybe someone's walking with me. How are you all doing? Okay, we're getting close to here, look, check out this tree. Look at that. Let's see, I'm trying to get the camera going the right direction. I have to figure out how to flip this camera around. Maybe there's not a way to do that. I'm not a techie, but I'm learning here and there. Okay, it's getting even greener, if you can believe that. Look behind me. Hi. Yeah, and what's also nice is it's nice to get outside, of course, but it's also nice to see people like here and there, and you got to say hello, and it's like built-in community. Look over there. This is where we're headed. Look at that. We're almost to the old growth part. I've actually met some friends in here just by passing people over and over again. Sometimes you become friends. It's pretty wild. So I've made like 2 friends just from walking in this park, which is kind of trippy to think about. So it's like built-in community too, but at the same time, you can have your solitude if you want it. And nature for me is so healing. Like my parents growing up always took us camping. My dad was super into camping, so I'm really glad that he made us get out there. And I think that the first time I visited this park, it reminded me of camping too, because it smells like camping. It smells like the outdoors. And so it's very nostalgic for me. So can you see this is where we're headed? Isn't that pretty? And this is where we just came from. You can see that it's really, really forested in here. Lots of trees, lots of greens, and then the trees are getting taller. We're almost to the old growth part now. It's going to be really stunning. Anyway, so my parents took me camping growing up, and so for me, that was kind of built into what I love. Like it became part of my DNA in a way. And then they even took us backpacking. The first time I ever went backpacking, I think I was like 7. Might have been a bit too young for me, but they really threw me into the fire there. Okay, look how stunning. You can start to see it's like a grove of old growth trees, a grove of cedar trees. They might have a sign that says exactly what they are. Hang on. Let me just show you around. We're going to go down that way afterwards. It's so beautiful, but I'm going to flip this around so you can see. I think hopefully they have a sign somewhere that explains, but you can really see how kind of, hopefully I can show this. Look how beautiful those trees are. It's really hard to show on camera. Oh my gosh, they're so stunning. And there are a whole bunch of them. They're really tall. I don't think they're cedar. I think there's something else. Cedar is another part of the forest, but these are really old trees. So, and they're just kind of standing here like they're at attention and they're like holding space, and it's really incredible. And really there's a road not too far from here, but you wouldn't know it because you feel like you're in the middle of, you feel like you're deep, deep in the forest, even though the road is just right out there. So here, look at this huge tree. They're all like this. They're just everywhere. Can you see? Isn't that pretty? They all look like that. Just look at that. That's a pretty good. Anyway, I'm probably not doing it justice. Well, we're gonna go out a different way. You might be able to see them behind me too. So anyway, maybe this will encourage you to get out more and walk or build in more nature time or exercise time or self-care time. I find that even with, we all have busy schedules, but don't forget to take care of yourself. Um, don't miss out on your life. I think that's really important. And like slow down, look around. And I think that being out in nature is a really great way to do that because it's just full of so much beauty. It's just a really good reminder of how beautiful life is. And it's also really nice to walk with people and hike with people, camp with people. So like I said, I will bring people in here. If I have someone from out of town or if a friend's coming to visit me, I always try to bring them here. Hello, hi from Poland. Hi, hi guys. Did you hear that bird? So this is where we just came from. Can you see behind me? Now we're walking downhill. We just came from that incredible grove of trees. And now we're headed down. It's really hard to show it, but yeah, the trees are huge. They just go up and up. That's what's so stunning is like that sense of awe. For me, being in nature is like this real sense of awe and wonder. And I really need that personally. And I start to feel disconnected if I don't get that. And also, it's just fresh air, right? Like, I think a lot of us, when it's colder, it makes it start to really crave that fresh air and sunshine. Oh, so where does it look like where you live? I hope I'm saying your name right. Is it Jung? You say, I wish it looked like this where I live. Where does it look like where you live? I mean, I think there are so many beautiful places in the world. I do love the trees, though. I know what you mean. But I grew up around mountains, and about an hour from here are the beaches. So that's one of the reasons I do like Oregon is you get mountains. Um, Not as big mountains as where I'm from in Utah. Like we have the Rocky Mountains, but we have volcanoes out here too, which is they are, I have to tell you, there are like, don't quote me on this, but I think there are like 11 volcanoes out here. Oh, it's very cold. Really? Oh, is it winter where you are right now? I like the cold. Well, I like snow. I mean, I think snow, is there snow where you are? Oh, snow and ice. Oh, it must be winter. Is it winter where you are? Do you ski? See, I grew up in, so I like snow because it's can be very cozy. But yeah, I hear you. Snow is beautiful, and it's nice to get indoors from it too. I'm trying to picture where you might be. Not right now. It's not snowing right now. It's very cold and icy. Huh, I'm trying to figure out where you might be. I want to say Siberia. That's probably not right though. You have to tell me where you are. Oh, in Poland, you told me that. Oh, interesting. So then it must be the winter there, or does it ever get warm there? I'm assuming it does in Poland. I've never been to Poland. That is so interesting. Yeah, I'm guessing we're in opposite seasons right now. I kind of like that about nature, though, and in most parts of the world that, oh, it's a little not very warm. Oh, yeah. I know every place has its beauty and the different things that it offers. And yeah, can you hear those birds? I think it's great to get around and look around and go different places. Hi. So we're coming up on well, I hope you feel warmer, and I hope you get to visit somewhere that I think there are a lot of places like this that probably have trees and I mean, this is a temperate rainforest, I think. Don't quote me on that, but so but I think there are probably a lot of forests in the world, and I think that it's really interesting how a lot of places. Bye, nice to talk to you. I hope you do too. I hope you have a great day. I think there are so many beautiful places in the world, and I love that. Each place has its own kind of unique look. I think is really cool. Um, okay, now there used to be water in here. I don't know what happened to it. Sometimes these things change. So this used to all be water, like a stream, a huge stream. Then there used to be like a really pretty deck where you could literally go out and sit and like even do yoga. Like you'll see in a lot of my videos, like I like to do yoga videos that are outside. But I guess that's all different now. I don't see the water. But here's another bench coming up, and now we're heading back. I'm just going to take you to that lotus pond. Here's a bench. People sit. Oh, here's some water. There's a bench where people come out and sit and get some sun. Here's that water, but I guess a lot of it's covered up now. And you can see behind me. Okay, I'm just going to take you over to the lotus pond. We're going to go back on the main trail. There's so many places to go in here. But I want to show you this lotus pond because it's really extraordinary. There are literally lotuses in it, and sometimes you'll see like birds in it or like ducks, and it's really idyllic looking. Okay, so we're gonna go back this way. So right now it's a little bit sunnier, which is nice. I definitely like to get some sun, but I like this forest because it has a lot of trees in it. Going back across the bridge because I burn pretty easily. So I like shaded, but here in Oregon, we have so many places to walk. But they do in a lot of places, I think, in the world. And, and even if, you live around snow or you can go skiing, or I used to ski all the time. Here's some more. You might be able to see flowers better here. They're yellow flowers. We just came back across a bridge. Isn't that pretty? Okay. There's so many other places I can take you, but I'm going to take you to this lotus pond. It's going to take a while to get there. It's going to take like another 15 minutes. So maybe you'll start walking with me. I wonder if any of you like to get out in nature like I do. Like I always start to feel cooped up as the winter wears on. And but I think the winter is good too. I mean, it's nice to be in we call it the cozy season here in Oregon. So when it's raining, and we get snow here too sometimes, not as much as other places, but we call it the cozy season. It's like there's a lot of rain, it's colder, so you just cozy up, have some hot tea and hot drinks, get a fire going, get under some blankets, and it's kind of nice. But then it's nice to get out and get that sun on your skin because it's really important. Sunshine is really important for that vitamin D production. Super, super important. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm really big on well-being. Like well-being is super, super important to me. I developed health issues in my early 20s, and so for me, um, it's a long, long story. But I had to find kind of alternative ways to improve my well-being because I can't take prescription drugs, for instance. I developed chronic fatigue and I can't take prescription drugs. And so for me, it was all about learning holistic methods for improving my energy and well-being. And so this is one of the things I do is helping my body reconnect with nature, slowing down, de-stressing, really managing stress is super, super important. That improves my energy, connecting with nature. There's so many things that you can do. It's also, of course, what you eat, but getting that fresh air, getting some kind of mellow exercise. Anyway, so well-being is super, super important to me. And walking, I've always loved to do it, like I said. And this is one of the reasons why I chose to continue living here is because of this park, because I knew that this would help my well-being. So we're going back up a hill, and you can see this. There are even like paths back in here, and look how this just goes on and on the other direction too. Like there are paths everywhere in here. So we could go further in this way. Look how stunning that is. You might be able to see. Sorry guys, I don't know if I'm back on again. Hello? Sorry about that. I got knocked out of StreamYard. I love StreamYard, by the way. I'm streaming this from StreamYard. And for any of you content creators out there, it's a really great platform to use because you may or may not know this, but I'm actually able to stream live both to YouTube Shorts, and it's also streaming live the other way, and I love StreamYard. It's very high quality, and now streaming, some of you may or may not know this, but this is kind of a luxury to be able to stream. Like just a few years ago, or maybe 10 years ago, streaming was a big deal, right? Like it was pretty rare to be able to do it, and I don't know how long ago, but it's a relatively recent thing, and it used to be, I think, more expensive and harder to do, and now anyone can stream, right, from all these different platforms. And so yeah, I love StreamYard because I find it easy to use. Of course, you can also stream straight from YouTube. You can stream from, gosh, Facebook, and I mean all these different platforms now, but I like using StreamYard. So but sorry, I got knocked out there for a second. But I'm taking you now. I'm in a forest park. It's a nature park. It's about 60 acres in here. I come here all the time for about 6 to 8 months out of the year. I come as often as I can to de-stress. And it's also a great way to get exercise. It's also a great way to get my dose of nature. Super, super important for me. I don't know where I would be without nature. Like I really need it in order to feel good. In order to feel connected, I need nature. So I'm taking you back into the main part of the park, and then I'm going to take you over to see a lotus pond. So since I got knocked out of my live stream, I don't know what that's going to look like. Sorry about that. I don't know if it looked blank for you all, but anyway, let me take you over to this park. We'll be there relatively soon. This is a really pretty part of the park. We're in a main road now, and it's cement again that I'm walking on, but they keep it really well maintained in here. There are going to be lots of wildflowers all throughout here, and there's actually two more parts I'll take you to, because there's one part that is one of my favorite parts. Well, the lotus pond is one of my favorites, and then, I mean, all of it's really my favorite, but there's another part coming up here that's also super pretty. So I'll show that to you too. We're coming to another bridge. So they recently updated this bridge, and look, here's another really nice place. You might be able to see this, look at that. A really nice, another place that you can hang out and just sit and chill and listen to the birds and soak in the scenery, and it smells amazing out here. It's so peaceful, it's so calming. I really feel like not only is walking really good for your well-being, but walking in nature, I mean, you really can't beat that combination, and it's so soothing. I mean, I just saw a bird literally fly right in front of me. It's soothing, right? You've got the greenery, you've got the birds singing, you've got wildflowers, depending on the time of year. We're coming to more of an open space now, and it's more sunny in here. So it's really interesting. Yeah, I'm not going to show it to you, but it's kind of like wide open spaces either direction now for a little bit more like grasslands. Then we're coming to another bridge, and then like some water. There's a pretty cool stream in here. I'm going to show it to you. You can hear the stream. You might be able to hear the stream. Here, let me try to show it to you. I really like this stream. Can you see that? Isn't that pretty? I hope you can hear that. You might be able to see it better on this side. This is a really, really nice bridge with a stream in it. Can you hear that water? And then we're going up this gorgeous, gorgeous, into a very beautiful part of the park now. it's all beautiful, but this main pathway that I'm walking on right now is actually, it's pretty stunning. Like if I only have a little amount of time to come in here, I'll just stay on the main pathway. And it's a couple miles if you go both directions. So it's good exercise. It's easy to get up and down on it, and it's really pretty. So while I'm here, I'm going to show you, I'm going to get off the beaten path here for a second and take you to probably my favorite stretch. Okay, so okay, let me see if you can see. Can you see that? Look how pretty. Hopefully you can see that. It's, again, maybe a little hard to show on camera, but look how pretty. Isn't that pretty? I'll do it backwards so you can see it. Look how stunning. This is a really, really peaceful area. It's so, so pretty. This is one of my favorite areas. This is one of the first places I came in the park. You have to walk a little bit to get back here, but that's also what's nice about it, is because you really feel like you're deep in the woods. So let me see if I can show you. I'll show you, look how pretty. It just goes on and on like this. Huge, tall trees, kind of sun streaming in. Again, it probably doesn't even do it justice, what you're seeing versus what I'm seeing, but I'll look back on this and see. Hopefully it comes across because it's so, so peaceful. And you can even see, like, here's this, even a beautiful broken tree stump is just absolutely stunning. And I'll run into a lot of deer back here because it's a little more quiet. This is one of my favorite spots. Look how peaceful and quiet and beautiful this is. Look at that. And it just is all around. And the trees go up and up and up. Look at that. Look how tall those trees are. Anyway, it's hard to do it justice. Now, what I might do is I'm going to maybe take you on this back loop, and then we'll come on the lotus pond on the other end of it. So I'm going to take you to another walkway. So right now we're going deeper into the park, and then we're going to go on another back end part of the park where there's a really good bridge that goes over kind of like what used to be a ton of like mud and water, and then they built a walkway on it. So I'll take you up that, and then we'll loop around, and then I'll show you the lotus pond on the other end of it. So the lotus pond is coming up, but it's a few minutes away. But in the meantime, let's go on the back water, the back kind of back end of the park, at least one of them. Now we're coming to yet another fork in the road here. Look behind me. Look how pretty that is. That's where we just came from. Isn't that pretty? And then where we're coming up to, there are always like forks in the road here, like two paths you can take. So you can always go your own direction. And, you know, especially if you want to walk by yourself, which again, a lot of people do. A lot of people will come in here and walk every day, literally every day. There are some people that whenever I'm in here on a regular basis, there are people that I pass. Every time I'm in here, they're in here too. And often at the same time, which is so funny. And sometimes, again, I don't come in too often when it gets colder, but some people are hardcore and they come in here even in the winter. So, and you can really, if you want to just walk by yourself or even run by yourself, there are so many paths that you can take in here and just kind of go off on your own. And it's nice to see people occasionally, but you can also get that feeling of like, if you want to walk in solitude type thing. Did you hear that bird? So we're coming up on, here's more. Can you see these wildflowers? Look how pretty. Hopefully you can see those wildflowers. They're everywhere. Yeah, and sometimes I'll come in here and just put on music. It's also a good place to listen to podcasts, like, or if you're studying, like these days, there's you can study, right, with they have audio. Let's say you're in school and you have an audio lesson. I've done so many different, whether it's homework for school, even when I was in grad school, listening to lectures. Like I'll come in here and listen to lectures. And that way it's two for one, right? Like I'm walking, I'm getting exercise, I'm doing something that's good for myself, and then I'm also getting my work done because so many things are set up on audio now that you can do that. So, or like I said, if I don't have anything pressing, listening to music or just walking in silence because it's really not silent in here because you have the sounds of nature. Okay, hang on a second. Mhm. Okay, so we're coming up on a back part of the park now, and then we're going to hit another man-made walkway, which used to be pretty inaccessible back here, but they took some time to build it, which is really nice because there's so many different parts of the park now that we can get into that we couldn't get into before. So I like that. There are tons of wildflowers along here, maybe some mosquitoes. I actually have a, look at this on my wrist. I have a, this has, I forget what it is. It has something on it. I think it's citronella, and it helps repel mosquitoes, maybe just a little bit. So now there aren't too many mosquitoes in here, but I'm just not a fan of that feeling of mosquitoes kind of biting my skin. So in general, there are very few. Like they usually hang out more in like water that's more still. So there are just a few parts of the park that have that. It's very, very rare. Tons of wildflowers here. I'm gonna try and show you. Look at all these wildflowers. They're everywhere. It's like a shock of wildflowers. Aren't those pretty? It's like a carpet of wildflowers. Look at this. Can you see that? Isn't that pretty? And they smell amazing too. Okay, now we're coming up on this pretty long walkway, although it goes pretty fast. Okay. Yeah, and a lot of people like to come in here and literally get their daily exercise, right? Like whether it's walking or running or jogging, like I said, I'll see regulars in here, and it's just such a good way to stay motivated. If you, well, the thing about exercise is you want to find something that you love to do or that you can tolerate doing, and you have to build a routine around it, right? So that's why a lot of people use the park because it's very motivating. It's so pretty in here, and they have so many pathways that, it's your routine, right? You know you're gonna go to the park and get your exercise in and then enjoy it at the same time because you have all this scenery around you. So it's very motivating. Of course, I love to exercise anyway, but you do have to find the right type of exercise that works for you, or movement, I should say movement, because, like, for instance, you're not going to catch me on a stationary bike because I just don't like it. It's not fun. So you definitely have to find something that helps you stay moving. Of course, I love yoga too, and I do teach yoga. I have a lot of yoga videos on my channel here on YouTube, and I make a lot of meditation videos. Oh, here, look, here's a single rose. I don't know if you can see it. You may not be able to see that. It's pink. You may not be able to see it. Anyway, now we're in a grove of trees. You can see the trail behind me. Look at that. So there's a grove of trees either direction and a path going either direction. This is more shaded and wooded, and it's pretty. There aren't a lot of people back here, and you will see a lot of like runners back here. They're just like cruising down this pathway. I think it's um kind of euphoric, I think, to run in this park in this forest. And on the soil, it's probably a little bit better on your joints too. And there's just, the gradation here is pretty mellow. It goes up and down a little bit, and there are a lot of flat places too. So, it's really good for your, did you know that part of your body really needs movement in order to be well, like your lymphatic system. It really needs movement in order to keep moving itself. Like your lymph system can't move itself. It needs movement from you. So that's one reason that walking is so good for you, and even yoga, or any really gentle movement. It just keeps everything moving in your body. And once you start realizing how good it feels to move, it's not something you want to stop doing because you feel better. So for me, I've been active my whole life. I started dancing at the age of 5, and I've been dancing ever since. And I have some dance fitness videos, by the way, on my channel too. I am a local mind body fitness instructor as well. So I teach yoga locally in bar, and I also have bar classes on my channel. And I teach Zumba locally. On my channel here on YouTube, I offer dance fitness. So it's similar but different. But I have a dance background, but I've been moving since I was really young. And then, like I said, my family, they got me skiing when I was 5. They put me on the slopes, and I was like screaming the whole way down. But went backpacking for the first time when I was like 7. We've been hiking and walking and camping forever. So now it's getting really, really pretty here. Can you see that? Look at that really tall tree. I hope the sun is not in your eyes there. Can see off to the side here. Hopefully that's not making you dizzy.
So
Usually there aren't as many people back here, but sometimes, there are clusters of people. So it's nice though. Oh, I have a really cool story to share too. Hang on. So there was one time, this was a long time ago. I've been coming here for about 15 years, roughly, maybe 16, maybe 17, a long time. There was one time a long time ago, toward the beginning when I started walking in here, when somebody was making dream catchers. This is such a cool story. And they were literally leaving these gorgeous dream catchers in the forest for anyone to find. So I have a couple of those in my house now. Um, yeah, so now, and it was just such a cool thing to find, and that I just thought of that because that's something those were hanging in the back here, kind of along this part of the park. You'd be walking along, and all of a sudden you'd see this beautifully woven dream catcher, and they were everywhere. So anyway, they were there for us to take. So, and then okay, we are coming back down. We're kind of on the edge of the park now. Again, I've been walking now for, gosh, I don't know, almost an hour, 53 minutes, 54 minutes. So it's pretty easy to get really good exercise in here because it's so beautiful and so motivating that you could really stay in here pretty easily for a while and almost forget that you're walking or forget that you're exercising. But we're almost to the lotus pond. I'm going to show this to you. Oops. I'll try not to fall. So again, we're at the edge of the park right now. There are actually a lot of cars out there, but again, the park, there are so many trees in here that it really kind of buffers that noise. And a lot of times you can't hear anything at all. You can just hear the sounds of the forest. So let me take you to the lotus pond here. So you can kind of see where I was just coming from. Again, it's just stunning everywhere. And the trees go on and on. They're super, super tall. Look at that. It's just like this gorgeous canopy of trees. And if you look this way, the trees go up and up and up and up and up. It really doesn't do it justice. The lotus pond is coming right up here. The last time I was here was a couple weeks ago, maybe, for the lotus pond, and it was probably the most beautiful I've ever seen it. It was like the sun, there were lotuses everywhere, first of all, because it's an actual lotus pond. I mean, it's pretty exceptional. And the sun was shining on it, so the sun was shining on all the lotus fronds, or however you say it, and then there were ducks dipping in and out of the water, and it was just so pretty. Now, a lot of times there are people down there, so we might just be passing through, but I'm going to definitely try and show it to you. And if it's really sunny down there, I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but it should look pretty similar to what it was last time. And then we're also coming to like a little circle in the forest where they have like an opening. It's almost like a traffic circle. And there's a bench here. There are several benches in this area coming up, and there are benches throughout the whole park. So some people come in here to exercise, and some people come in here to forest bathe. There are a lot of forest bathers in here. Some people come in here to maybe forest bathe and then sit on the benches. Some people come in here with friends to chat on benches. So here's a bench coming up. This is in the opening. I don't know if that bench is in the picture, but here's an opening. And then the lotus pond is right down here. Looks pretty sunny. You might be able to see that bench behind me. There it is. Look at that. Really nice place to sit. And then here comes the lotus pond. Looks very sunny, so this is good. Hopefully you can see it. I've even seen, I think, crane down here, and I mean it's pretty wild to see a crane in the forest. I actually have cranes by where I live too, because I have a pond or a couple, bodies of water by where I live too. So here in Oregon, you just never know what you see, which is so great. Okay, yeah, I don't see any ducks, but it's very pretty. Okay, so I'm gonna turn this around so you can see it. Hopefully it's very sunny. Hopefully you can see it. That's the lotus pond. Can you see that? It's really, really stunning. There are lotuses everywhere. And there is definitely water in there too. Hopefully you can see that. Lotus pond. Oh, sorry, they call it a lily pond. Never mind, I got it wrong. It's a lily pond. I've been saying it wrong this whole time. Yeah, so lily ponds are in the spring, they float. These are leaves of the yellow pond lily are adapted to ponds whose water levels fluctuate a foot or two between wet and dry seasons. We're in the dry season right now. And in spring, they float, providing firm pads for frogs so they can survive completely submerged when the water rises still further. In the summer, they come up even further, just far the water has dropped. But autumn it returns. So on the eating stuff. I've definitely seen ducks in there, and I've seen deer come through here, and it's so pretty. They have a bench here where you can hang out, and this is really, sorry I called it a lotus pond, it's a lily pond. Anyway, they look like lotuses to me. Lily pond. See me, and there's the you kind of see very, very peaceful park. Back and yes, thanks for taking a walk with me. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this and maybe get out and walk more or build in some more self-care time for yourself. Just make sure you really learned about well-being is in summers. Make sure that's the second time I've been logged out. Sorry about that. I might have to end this soon, so I don't, because I might be losing the signal, or my phone is starting to get a little bit low. That could be part of it too. But actually, right now I'm back on the main path in this nature park that I'm in. If you're joining me now, this nature park is about 60 acres. I walk in here as much as I can, and it's a really great way to get exercise and de-stress. It's green, it's beautiful. Um, yeah, so this is one of my favorite places. Oh, here comes some bamboo. I don't know if you can see these, but there are bamboo everywhere. Can you see that? Look at all, they're pretty tall. I'm gonna have it carry it this way so hopefully you can see them. There are bamboo everywhere in here. Can you see that? It's pretty cool to see bamboo, and we're coming up to another really part of the park. I'm actually heading back now, but I'll stay on just a little bit longer so you can hopefully see even this part of the park is also very pretty. I'm back on the main path, one of the main pathways in here. And again, right now it's carpeted with wildflowers everywhere and very tall green trees, lots of birds singing. Um, it's just super, super calming and pretty, and it's so good for your nervous system. It's just such a, for me, this is the perfect way to, one of the ways that I stay in balance is coming out here to walk. And then I also practice yoga. I teach yoga too. And I do have yoga videos on my site here on YouTube. Um, and then I teach it locally too. So those two things really help me. Uh, and I just started teaching dance fitness, which is also really great because it's really important also to get that aerobic part of exercise. It's also really important. It's important for your heart and your blood vessels. So I hadn't been doing that for a while. I used to do a lot of aerobics when I was younger. And of course, you could, out here, you could run, right? Or walk at a very fast pace. I like to I like to take my time when I'm walking because for me, it's very calming and it's like a great way to practice mindfulness. But so for me, I guess all of the three ways, the main ways that I work out right now or exercise or get movement in. And again, you have to go at your own pace, right? You have to do what works for you, listen to your body. But our kind of mindful walking, forest bathing, yoga, and then dance fitness. Now I also teach bar. I don't have any bar classes locally right now, but I do have some bar classes here on YouTube as well. And a lot of times I like to mix bar and yoga and even dance. So some of the videos that you'll see on my site are kind of a combination. So it's really important to keep moving. And I know that now, like I was mentioning, some of you might know this, like I developed chronic fatigue in my early 20s. So I know what it's like to feel like you can't move too, and or that you don't have a lot of energy. I totally get that. And so, just do what you can. If you can't move, I totally get that too. Maybe try and get some fresh air, get some sunlight. Maybe try and do some gentle stretching. Restorative yoga can be really helpful. It's really mellow, super, super mellow. I've made some videos like that and I can try to make more. So Qigong can be really helpful. Tai Chi, um, everyone's going to be different in terms of what they can tolerate. But it's just so important to, I think one of the things I love about getting out here is, I don't know if you can see this behind me. Look how pretty. There's a lot of sun in here. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. There's so many, and there's even a whole other, I'm only on one side of the park right now. There's a whole other side, and then there's also like a whole other back side. So the park is huge. So I took you to about maybe a third of the park and not even all the pathways in that third. It's huge. That's what I love about this is you can, it's for me, this is so important for my well-being and is um, just remembering to stay connected, find something that makes you feel connected, whether it's nature. Nature for me really helps. I can feel something greater than me when I'm out in nature. I've always felt it. So for me, that's really, really important. I'm looking up at these trees. I'm going to see if I can show you. Look how pretty this is. This is pretty. Look how pretty. This is pretty. It's again very hard to show. These trees go up and up and up, and there's just so many. It's so stunning. It's just really hard to show it all. But look how peaceful. It's so peaceful. But connecting with nature and walking in nature, being in nature, really helps me feel connected to something greater than myself. And that's a good reminder for me. And then it helps me, it helps melt away stress, anxiety. It makes me feel calmer. It makes me feel more connected. It makes me feel more hopeful. And also walking for me has always been a way to kind of work through stuff. So like if I'm really stressed about something or can't figure something out, walking or sleeping help me, or just time, right? But walking, just like kind of like think of the phrase as like walk it out, right? Like a lot of times you can find a solution or realize that you don't have to worry about something or that it will resolve itself, and walking can help you get there. And so can time and sleep. Good sleep. Look at that. Some of these vistas in here just go on and on. Like there are so many deer and other wildlife that are just hanging out in here, like obviously off the beaten path. And they're just, they're really in their own world. They're doing their own thing. So anyway, thank you for walking with me. And I think I'm going to log off pretty soon here. But there's more wildflowers coming up. Look, can you see those? Thank you for walking with me. And oh, wait, let me just show you this part. This is, now we're making kind of a loop. So again, we're in a more shaded part. Look at this, look at that gorgeous tree. Isn't that pretty? And there's another bench coming up here, and look. It almost just looks like, I mean, some of these trees are huge. And look at this one. Look how big this is. And these trees are so tall. And they're just so, oh, I know what I'll show you. There are two trees that are growing together over here. Let me show you that. Okay, right over here, if I can show you, are two trees growing together. Look at this. Look at that. They're growing together. Isn't that cool? I think that's the thing, is like slowing down enough to notice things like that. Like we live in such a fast-paced world that a lot of us, I think, are forgetting to notice what's around us and enjoy what's around us. And if you can't notice your life and enjoy your life and feel it, then you're going to miss out. You see that stream? There's that stream again. It's this really nice bridge and stream, and now we're in this really, really sunny part, and you can see like there's some open space. It's really sunny, so you may or may not be able to see it. It's almost like a meadow. I don't know if you can see that. It might be too sunny. Maybe you can see this side. Look at that. Now they have this all blocked off. They probably don't want humans to walk back there. They changed this at one point. This was, they keep changing it in terms of what you can access and not access, because they're also trying to protect this land, right? So that's what I like about it, is they're really good caretakers of this. But and there are some people up here, otherwise I would show you, but there's some really stunning vistas up here. But you can see what's behind me. We just walked across another kind of bridge. Now I'm heading back to where we began. We'll be there soon. Hang on just a moment here. Oh, there's lots of moss on these trees. There's a ton of moss on these trees, and this isn't even the rainy season. And you might be able to see, look at that tree. Can you see that? It might be too much in the light, but look at all that moss. Look at all these trees. Look at how tall they are. And sometimes what's really cool is I remember in this area, I've seen like little tiny frogs. They're so cute. And they hang out on the leaves. And like, it's just, again, it's just like slowing down enough to look around and see what's around you, you know? I think that's easier to do when you're younger. And then as you get older and you have more responsibilities, sometimes we forget to slow down and observe and know that there's always something new to discover. You know, it's really important to keep your curiosity alive and keep trying new things. Stay present and keep moving. Stay connected. Okay, now we're walking up. There are a couple smaller hills here and there, which is good. It's good for you. Hopefully I won't be too much out of breath. Whew. I can thank Dance Fitness for helping me not be out of breath on this going up these hills, or just going up hills. Here's a tree. A lot of trees will fall in here, and actually they had a windstorm one time, it was a long time ago, and all these trees fell over. But here's one of the trees that there. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of cool looking. You see that? And the wood smells so good. I don't know if you can see that. They're almost making like a bench out of it now, so it's pretty cool. So anyway, thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll talk to you again soon. Take care. I'll look forward to walking with you again soon. Bye bye.